every lion down in Lionville liked the main event a lot, but Dylan, who lived in the spirit trails, did not. Dylan hated the main event ever since Sabrina showed her face. She threw off his groove, messed up his pace. It could be his perm wasn't done up just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. Whatever the reason, his heart or his hair, he stood there hating the lions before the main event aired, staring from the trail and frowning so cruel at the warm-lighted windows across in their school. For he knew every lion over in Lionville was busy now editing with great care and great skill.
They even finished There You Have It.
He snarled with a sneer.
It's showing tomorrow. It's practically here.
He growled with his Dylan brows glowed and glaring.
Why? For one episode, I put up with it now. I must stop the holiday special. But how?
Even gonna know the answer.
David, they will.
No, you get out. You're the one that got the
Guys, here. Let me.
Yes,
let
we're
me
part
work
of the
on
team.
stupid.
It's impossible to work when the room is like this. And where's Dylan? He's been absent for days.
Hey guys, has Dylan been acting weird lately?
You know what? Yeah, I haven't seen him since last episode.
Yeah, I mean, things haven't been the same since you know who showed up.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Your attention, please. All right, listen up, everyone. We have to have the main event done by tomorrow. Izzy, Chelsea, have you guys even started your segment yet? And Wheel of Misfortune, is it done? Is it complete? Where are you guys going with this thing? We have to have it done. And could somebody please tell me where Dylan is? We have to have him for upcoming events if we're gonna get the show done. Does he have another perm appointment going on right now? Probably. Can you guys just please get the show done? Work a little bit harder. We have to stay a little bit later, we'll do it. But let's get back to work, okay?
So the couch chain, I think it's an issue.
I'm not even wearing the couch chain.
Dylan got an awful idea. Dylan got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know what to do. I'll steal the main event.
Dylan grinned at the good news, and he made a quick sweater and an old pair of shoes.
Because of my Dylan-y precision, with this sweatshirt and these shoes, I'll look just like Mr. Bridgens. All I need is a reindeer.
And Dylan looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there were none to be found.
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. Max.
So he called his dog Max, then he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a dirt cheap red wagon, and he hitched up old Max. Then Dylan said,
Giddy up, Max! Max! Come on, Max!
and he opened the door, then he silently walked in, a rather scary thing, but if Bridgens could do it, then so could Dylan.
Where are you, main event? Why can't I find you? Why has the spirit gone away?
first to go.
He slithered and slunk, with a smile most unpleasant. Around the whole room, he grabbed all the equipment. He grabbed all the cameras, the tripods, the shots. He even took the last bag of tutorial tots. Almost all was in the wagon except for one light, so he lifted it up high with all of his might.
Mr. Bridgens, why are you taking the equipment?
He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick.
Well, why, Sabrina James? The bulb on this light just flickered and died. So I'm gonna take it to my workshop, I'm gonna fix it up there, and I'm gonna bring it back here.
Why are you taking everything else too?
Well, don't worry about it.
Wait a minute. Dylan. Bridgens, you should go easy on Dylan. He's actually got a good heart, and his perm is kind of cool.
I'll be sure to let him know. You should go back to singing. You're actually pretty good at it.
He packed it up with their cameras, the SD cards, the shots, the wheel of misfortune, the hot seat, the tots. Then the last thing he took were the keys to the green screen. He slid out the door himself, the old fiend. The only equipment that he left in the room were the computers, which were way too difficult to move. He tread through the parking lot for his camp in the trees to find some place to get rid of these things.
Mr. Bridgens, what's wrong?
The equipment, it's all gone.
What?
Bridgens, I thought you went to take the equipment home.
What are you talking about? I just got here. Everything's been stolen.
Wait, what?
How are we supposed to do the main event now? We can't do the show unless we have equipment.
Well, if it wasn't Bridgens, who was it?
It must be someone who hates the main event.
It must be someone that knows where we store everything.
It must be someone who has a perm.
Dylan. Guys, I'm going to find Dylan.
You're gonna try to get the show back?
What's the point anyway? He won't give us back the fancy equipment.
Come on, guys, we have to do this. It's not about the fancy equipment. We're a team and Dylan's a part of it. I'm going to get him.
Maybe she's right. We need to do this. We all need to do this.
Agreed. Everyone, can I have your attention? So we might not have the equipment we usually have.
But that's not what the main event's about.
It's about our team and our spirit.
Besides, we have cameras on our phones, and we have the skills and the heart. That's all we need.
They're right. We can do this. The show must go on. All right, let's do it. We can.
Defying the lines. They're finding out now that no show is coming out. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will open for a minute or two, and the lions down in Lionville will cry out boo-hoo. And that's a noise
Grinned Dylan.
I must simply hear.
So he paused, and Dylan put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. The sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Lionville. Dylan popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every lion was using their phones and all laughing and filming even when expensive equipment was lacking. He hadn't stopped the main event from coming. It came! Somehow or another it came just the same. And Dylan, with his Bridgens shoes ice cold in the road, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without gimbals, without fancy equipment. It came without anything more than a sin. Besides their iPhones, of course.
And he puzzled for an hour till his puzzler was sore. Then Dylan thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe the show doesn't come from the store. Maybe the main event, perhaps, means a little bit more.
And what happened then? Well, in Lionville they say that Dylan's perm grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his perm didn't feel quite so tight, his perm and his heart felt the bright morning light.
Dylan, I can't believe I found you in time.
Sabrina, I'm so sorry about everything.
Dylan, about the stuff you stole.
Don't worry, I've had a change of heart. I plan on bringing everything back.
Well, that's great, but we need you for a different reason.
Yeah, I know. Bridget is probably gonna yell at me and probably kick me out of the class.
No, we need you to film.
But I almost ruined it.
The main event isn't the same without you. You were the star of the show, and we're co-hosts. You've been doing this longer than I have. You have to be there.
You're not angry?
No, you said it yourself. You're bringing it back, and you're sorry. Besides, I think what you did is just what the team needed.
Well, I'm bringing this stuff back anyway. Since without it, even with the newfound spirit, phones are not gonna get us very far. So let's get the equipment.
The equipment!
All right, guys, we're gonna start filming here. You guys are on in 3, 2.
Wait, Mr. Bridges.
Dylan, the equipment.
Here you go.
All right.
But Mr. Bridges,
No, Dylan, let's not talk about that right now. It's okay. All right, we got a show to do. We got to finish upcoming events, and you're a part of that. Let's go. Okay, let's go. All right, you guys are on in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Upcoming Events, CGHS.
I'm Sabrina James.
And I'm Dylan Graves. On January 4th, a Friday, our girls basketball team will be traveling to Mazama High School, where they'll be facing off in the Skyrim for Skyline League Challenge.
Also, on Friday, January 4th, our wrestlers will be traveling to Junction City to face off in some good matches.
And for some local sports action, our boys basketball team will be facing off in the Skyrim for Skyline League Challenge here at home. Get out there and support.
On January 18th and 19th at 7:30 and 2:30 on the 20th, our theater will be presenting a comedy play called All in the Timing, directed by Keely Galbraith. Back to you, Dylan.
Now, let's do this last one together. Now, what we've all been waiting for, winter break. Winter break will start on Saturday, December 22nd.
And end on Monday, January 7th.
Now, from all of us here at Room 119, Happy Holidays, CGHS!
And so they learned that the show is not just about fancy things. Not fancy things at all. It's about all of the people and the happiness it brings.